Sagittarius. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor. This is your reading for if you're late Sagittarius, happy birthday. I didn't forget. Sagittarius, I think I mentioned you every week. It's very rare that I do that. This is the reading for December 18th through the 25th. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice. Please subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I obviously do not have a script. Please become a member. Membership is $2.99 a month, and it allows you to watch these videos commercial free. So my little mini message is act on your instinct. Act on your instinct. So I was in the middle of videos. I'm planning on doing them all tonight. It's already 11, and I have about 5 more, I think, which is fine. I'm drinking coffee, and I really like it late at night. And I really felt compelled to do a live video. And so I did. And I'm really glad that I did. I'm really glad. I'm really grateful when I follow the directions. I'm really grateful when I follow the directions. And, our instinct can say, go here, don't go there, talk to this person, call this person, don't be involved with this person, blah, blah, blah. Go after this job, whatever it is. And I'm really glad that I did. I really am. I feel like I did what I was supposed to do, and it feels empowering. And it feels, like I listened to the directions, which is really good. Because the more I listen, the more comfortable I am generally, the more I feel like I'm working hand in hand with spirit, as opposed to, well, I'm going to do it my way. Yeah, I know what it is to do it my way. And, a lot of times it feels good, but sometimes it doesn't. All right. All right. Yeah, we start with the Hermit, and the Hermit's, it has no iconography, which is so interesting. There's so little iconography in this card, so little. You have to really look. I was thinking not today, one day on one of the subway platforms, and it's not a thought that I haven't had in the past, but sometimes I think, well, maybe I should make t-shirts again, but I want them to be as simple can be. So many years ago, so I used to do t-shirts. I used to make t-shirts, like I would hand dye them. And then I would have images, and they were always like spiritual, mystical images, right? So I had astrology and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then for a while, I was like, how plain can you be? So I would take a t-shirt, and then I would just paint a different color line right down the front. That was it. But it wasn't like very clean, it wasn't, because I was using, dye, and it was like, it bled, and it made it kind of interesting. And I didn't sell that many of them, but I thought they were really cool. Anyway, so that's my little take on simplicity. So here we have the Hermit, right? So there's nothing in the background. He's just standing there, right? But he's not just standing there. I read once an interpretation of this card of walking through hell, right? Walking through the darkness and in the winter, right? And so the thing that leads him through the darkness is his light. This is the light of his own soul. That's what's going on here. So your light informs you. And because the Hermit is a scholar, he's wise enough to follow the light. It's the only light there. So, if you're in the dark, you're in a cave, you're in a tunnel, and you have a light, you use the light, right? But that's, sometimes that's how we are in our heads or in our lives, in our souls. It's sort of like, I'm going to use my light to get me out of here. Okay. And then I have the Knight of Swords, who's been coming up quite a bit. And you are my 8th sign already, because, I do a different order every week. Um, the Knight of Swords comes through the message, And then I have the Five of Pentacles. So interesting. The Five of Pentacles, and now I have the two snow cards. It's December. I have the two snow cards. The Five of Pentacles is a change in security and finances and something physical. There's a change going on. There's a shift. There's a different perspective. There's an understanding. So I think what's going on is it's becoming more of a, you're led more by the interior than the exterior. I think that's the shift. Like if you're using your instinct, like that comes from the inside of you, right? Then, you're led by your interior as opposed to living in a reaction to the exterior. That's really interesting. Okay. It's also, this is the time of year where we all go in, I mean, I know I'm in Mexico and the weather's always the same, but it's still winter and it still feels like winter. I mean, even though the weather is always the same here. In the mountains, it gets cold. Don't get me wrong. And there are, it's all mountains. This country is all mountains. That's the shift. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles, I've spoken about this card ad infinitum. They're out in the cold. They're feeling abandoned. They're feeling like there's no place for them. And, the choice here is to concentrate on, oh, I'm unwanted, or to see things from a new perspective. And it's like, they got soup. Let's go inside and get some soup. I love soup. And this is what, wow. If I attached myself, if I decide to attach myself to my light, to my soul, then I'm no longer in the cold. Then I'm no longer in the cold. It's the illusion that we're separate from spirit. The illusion that we're separate from spirit. That we're separate, that spirit is somehow outside of us, that it doesn't exist inside of us. I think that's the illusion that's broken. Wow. I think I needed to come up with the Hermit. It's really interesting. Yeah, and now that I'm aligned with light and with spirit and with hope and with direction and with instinct, I'm anticipating wonderful things. I'm anticipating my ships coming in. I'm anticipating my creativity leading me toward something good. This is a big transformation. Wow. I talked about this with somebody with maybe one of the videos. I don't know. I do so many videos. I never know who I said what to, honestly. The metaphor that I just came up with is so demented. I can't even go in. It's like I'm a prostitute and I get all these I get all the information from all my clients. And then by accident, I tell one client, that owns the company that this one, he said, oh, he's going out of business, Where do I come up with these ideas? I swear to God. So anyway, a classy prostitute, you know what I mean? Anyway. I was talking about, maybe I was talking about it with the Guadalupe video. I'm not really sure. But, for many years, so I started meditating really regularly just about 20 years ago. just about 20 years ago. And the attitude that I went into it with was, well, first of all, I didn't really believe in spirit. I really didn't. I mean, I sort of did. I said I did, but I didn't really. I had this notion, this is really where I was at. This is really where I was at. I really felt lost, alone, abandoned, not fitting in, not part of, truly, 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 in my deepest place. That's the truth. That's where I was. And I had these people around me who would talk about God and talk about spirit and talk about all this stuff. And I would be like, you're such a liar. You're such a liar. That's really how I felt. It was like, you just want to sound good. You know, what are you trying to sell, a book? That was, really my attitude. But I had nowhere else to go. I'd tried everything else. I really had. I'd really tried everything else. I tried everything else. I didn't want to get into the details, but use your imagination. Okay. I was never a prostitute, though. I missed my calling. Anyway, so what happened was I started, and I did it in a very, I can be a very determined, very, like, try to put the fire out in me. Good luck. So I did it in a very exacting, very serious, very committed way, truly. And I did that for a long time. And, things started to shift and started to change and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, after many, many, many years, this is what happened. This is my experience. This doesn't have to be your experience. I'm just telling you my story. After many years, what happened was I met a guy who I hope one day will be on my channel. And, he is a healer and a medium and all this other stuff. Okay, great. And I met him, whatever, God put him in my path. It goes on and on. Anyway, he used to have these weekly meditations, these weekly sound healing / meditation, like a guided meditation sound healing thing. And I went really religiously because I really liked this guy. He was really cool. He wasn't, sometimes, people who do this spiritual stuff, it's sort of like, oh, well, I'm so spiritual and I'm endowing you with, because I'm the guru and you're nothing, that whole thing. And I don't go for that. And I met some like that too. And some of them helped me, actually. But there's always that notion of, I'm separate from you, right? But this guy was very real. Anyway, so I went for many, many years. And he would do, sometimes we would do ones where we would like really invite in like the energy. Well, we would always have the angels there, but it was really this energy of really like the loving, compassionate female energy, right? The loving mother, the energy of the loving mother. That's why I was able to talk about Guadalupe, because I have experience with her, right? I feel like that's what's going on. There's this understanding, and that's why the death card comes up, because the death card is like, I don't recognize myself. I don't recognize myself. And all the whatever I had to go through as fertilizer for this new path, of being reborn. Like that's what's going on in the death card. It's really, really profound. And I think that's really what's going on. I mean, according to these cards. And so now, like when I get the message, I follow it immediately because I know that, and I know in a way, what happened for me was I suddenly my heart opened enough for like the light of spirit to come through and to really transform who I am. And, I have days where I'm in fear, and I have days where I'm anxious, and I have days where I'm angry. Believe me, not like I don't have any of those things. And it's like, oh, I'm so effing spiritual. But I also have days, and I have to, that are like off. But I also have days, and I've been pretty much meditating every day since then, on and off, but really much more on, like 90%, where I know I'm loved, I know I'm led, I know I'm protected, I know I'm comforted, I know I'm loved, I know I'm worthy, I know I'm taken care of. And that's what I feel like is going on in this reading. So it's like I could throw more cards. There's nothing really more to say. Yeah, the comfort of the garden, the comfort of the garden. Balance, illumination. And the balance also is really understanding that we're having a physical experience and to relish the physical experience. It's like, oh, I'm so spiritual. It's like, no, no, no. I have to ground myself into the earth to ask for guidance, right? I still have to pay my bills. I still have to eat. I still have to deal with other people. I still have to be just and kind and loving to the best of my ability on a given day for your benefit, for my benefit, for our benefit. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than my ego. It's bigger than what I think, right? All right. Toward joy. This card's been coming up a lot, so that's really nice. It's really nice. This card has been coming up a lot. And, it really is the card of joy. Like it's as simple as that. And creativity. Don't worry, she's working overtime. Don't worry, she's working overtime. The High Priestess is such a fascinating card. The High Priestess is Isis, and Isis creates out of the darkness. She creates something beautiful, and she does this weird alchemical composition of fertility and using the darkness and the light and using the experiences and able to meld them into something that's fertile. It's amazing, because I've seen the truth of what it is to be isolated and to be unconnected to spirit. And I keep on getting these messages, and I sort of feel a little bit like, well, I don't know. Can I really go there with you? Well, maybe if I change my thinking, I'm going to go into this like, how I get sometimes. Then I can stand in the love. I can stand in the love and allow myself to be loved and comforted and led by, the loving, fertile, comforting aspect of the Godhead. That's the big change. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have the ability to end a story and begin a new one. And, that's the reason also. So, like a lot of people, they get really weird when they like, you don't have a relationship. Oh. And then when they find out you're gay, it's like, a partner? I'm not in fucking business. I mean, I'm in business, but, a partner? I can't even get into it. I talk to spirit all day. I never feel alone. Never. I have some moments. It's like, well, it'd be nice if I had somebody here with me. But it could be a friend. It doesn't mean like, oh, I have to have a romantic relationship with someone. Like, whatever. If they come knocking at the door, you think I'll answer. It used to be I wouldn't answer the door, but now I think I'll answer the door. But I have such a profound understanding and comfort and conversation that I'm never alone. None of us ever, we're all alone and we're all not alone, all at the same time, because that's how it works. All right. Trust your instinct. Away we go. Your light is leading you to new thoughts, understanding that your your sense of security is going to change because you've seen the truth. You're thinking in a new way. You decided to sit in the loving beneficence and kindness of spirit, and it keeps coming. And it's toward your comfort. It's a complete and utter transformation. You're expecting good things that are more balanced, full of joy, full of creativity, paying attention to your dreams and your instincts. Other people might think you're out of your mind, but it doesn't really matter because you have the high ground and you're in a good position. This is the beginning of a new story. It's been a hell of a reading for everybody this week, to tell you the truth. And I don't think it was a mistake that in the middle of it, I decided to do this video that I was just compelled to do, which was letting go of resentment. Like, wow. So there you go. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And well, come in next week. I'll wish it to you again. I even have a special outfit. Sort of. Anyway, blessings. See you soon.